Okay guys, this is my little video on how I cut these inserts in. I don't have anybody to hold the camera, so I'll have to pause it and restart it. I'll tell you what I'm doing as I go, kind of pick it up, and hopefully you get how I did it. I'll pause this and get back to you. Alright, so these inserts, you get two of them for that's $15 right there. It's a male and a female. I take the male, and you're going to want to line it up. I do it with the flange down and try to get it underneath this little rubber like that. Try to get it lined up the way you're going to do it. There's really not much room for error here. It's pretty straightforward. And I'll take a Sharpie like that one right there, and I'll mark the inside of it. And once I mark the inside of it, I'll turn it over and mark the outside of it, because the outside is what you want to cut. I just need the inside to give a guideline of where to place it. And I'll get back to you here in a second. All right, there I marked the inside of it there. Now you can take it off and you can line it up like that, and then you can go around the outside of it to get your cut line, and just want to follow that as a guideline. I'm going to mark the outside now. Now that you have both your lines to kind of guide you, you're going to start with the outside, and don't go too wide, and you're not going to round these out. I just corner them up, make it square, because you're not going to be able to see the square cuts with the flange will overhang it, so you won't see that. So just make them square. Don't worry about trying to cut them rounded. Okay, here's the tool of choice. It's got just a little blade on it. It came with the drill or the tool, and it works really well. Cuts right through the plastic. You can get pretty straight cuts, and works good. So I'll pause this and I'll cut this one out and get back to you. All right, so you can see I cut it out. It's a little bit tight in those corners like that. That piece out, throw it away. So I kind of went a little bit closer to this on this seat than I did my other seat, and I'm not sure how that's gonna work out, but I just tried to get it off of this corner a bit because when that sits in there, this corner kind of rides up on it, and I had to shave the corner off a little bit. So I'm gonna try it this way. If I don't like it on this side, I'll go back to the other, a little bit further in here. Be back. Okay, so you can get these at Harbor Freight. They're like 50 cents. I usually buy a handful of them every time I go there. This one happens to be brand new. Well, it was on the first seat. And so I only use it to cut the foam, which should be okay. It's pretty easy when you line it up. You just want to go down into the foam and make a cut. Let me get a better angle. Make your cut down. Just make your cut all the way around. Careful not to go through into the vinyl, but just make it down, a good cut all the way around into one chunk. And I'll do that and get back to you. Okay, so I've cut through, made the square, and I don't like to just sit and tear this out, because I don't want to tear it out of this side up in here that's going to stay and get gaps and loosen the firmness of the seat. So I want to cut this as square as I can and go all the way down into one chunk, so I'm not ripping out foam that I don't want to take out. So you can see I've cut it down. I'm almost down to the other side, and I just take it little slices at a time and go all the way around and keep doing it till I get it all the way through and not cut the other side of the vinyl. And I'll get back to you. All right, so I've gone through and cut all the way around. Mostly, I think this little corner right here is the last one. And I'm just gonna probably tear that corner. Just pull it out. Like that. So that's all one chunk. Pretty well the size. You can see in there, there's a little bit left over, but that'll fold over and you won't feel that at all. And you're not missing in here, which is, I think, important. You don't want that to sag. All right, I'm going to, I'll be right back with you. Okay, so before I go any further, you need to cut about a 1/2 inch. You can kind of see that little line right about where my finger is. That's about a 1/2 inch. You need to cut that right there. And I'll just take a measuring tape, pull it down, and mark a 1/2 inch around this side. And you need to do that on both of them. I use the same tool. I just put it down on the ground, put my foot on it, and it cuts right through it like butter. So I'm going to mark this up, and I'll show it to you in a minute. Okay, you can see the mark I put in there. It just doesn't have to be exact. You just got to take it off about a 1/2 inch. And if it's a little bit skiwampus as far as the cut, it's not going to bother anything. So I'll try to show you as I cut this. We'll see how it goes. If not, it's probably going to be loud. This tool is kind of loud, so. That's the first half. I'll just flip it over and do the other half. It'll come right off. Okay, you can see it's cut off. It's not the most straight cut in the world, but like I said, it don't matter. I'll just clean out the excess plastic with another razor knife and get back to you.